Hello, Riven mains and Yasuo mains alike. I'm the Nightwing, coming at you guys with another League of Legends video. So, we have a Day 4 recap and Day 5 predictions. So, looking at how Day 4 went, well, we had quite the number of interesting games for what they are. Stomps, and then we had more stomps. There was like one decently competitive game, and there was a little bit of competitiveness in it in one of Liquid's games, but I think it panned out just about as well as everybody predicted. You get the first match up against G2 versus Flash Wolves. Caps is just basically running away with the show against the Flash Wolves. Everybody else plays pretty decent, actually. Yankos is, just an animal on the Jarvan, and they dismantle Flash Wolves. And what happens when you try to challenge a wolf with a samurai? Well, the samurai is going to cut you down. So G2 lock up their win right there against Flash Wolves, and then you have Team Liquid going up against Fanghu Buffalo. As I said before, this was a more important matchup for them, for Team Liquid, because you factor in you're probably going to lose up against IG anyways, as which you guys already know from watching this video, as you can already see the scoreline if you're paying attention to the screen. Team Liquid beat Fanghu Buffalo in a rather dominating and convincing fashion, and this, well, you would hopefully mentally get them back to a stable type of position. Double F speaking about, them needing to commit to plays, and basically they need to remind themselves of the fundamentals, because they are just getting absolutely blasted these past couple of days. And I feel like a win today, which they got, really did help them get them some of their confidence back moving forward. But now, Team Liquid, never forget, 5-0 against Fanghu Buffalo. So, yep, NA has a win record that isn't a bet against the top teams. But then you have the G2 versus Invictus gaming matchup. 5 times the charm. G2 and IG have faced 5 times. This was probably one of the more closer games they've had in their rivalry so far. You have Caps, who really seems like he gets a mental boom against Rookie, and there's something there also in top lane with Wonder, and that's like the two general star players of the team have these mental blocks against the star players from IG, and well, rightfully so. IG have some of the best solo lanes in the world right now, and you're factoring in Caps did pretty well, and that last fight around the Baron power play, dancing around those Baron minions, getting in there and killing JackeyLove. JackeyLove having a standout performance in this game. JackeyLove, 15 kills. He is insane on Kai'Sa. Never let him get this pick. Never let him be isolated on this Kai'Sa pick. And Bao Long and JackeyLove going rather underrated by a lot of people. You have to factor in, this is more of a bot lane centric meta, as well as, pairing up with 2v2s. And JackeyLove and Bao Long have been surprisingly pretty good, all things considered, for IG. But, it is all about your Rookie and the Shy. The Shy having probably his worst game, obviously. And I know some people are going to be like, well, he's overrated, and he's just being, caster overrated, and people are just blowing all of his plays and mechanics out of proportion. No, genuinely, if you guys have seen how they play rather disrespectfully. Victor hasn't been meta in months, weeks actually. I really don't know why they went for it. Maybe he was just trolling to see how strong Wonder is, because of just how much he just completely decimates Wonder if he plays an actual top laner. But yeah, I didn't really think he was taking the game too seriously from my perspective. But hey, maybe somebody saw it differently than I did. I definitely see Victor top as a troll pick, because who in the right mind is playing that at the moment? IG is genuinely not taking that pick very seriously, because they want to kind of feel out what else Wonder can play. But it doesn't matter. And I know some people are going to talk about that 5-man dive on IG's bottom side of the map. So that play is only gonna really work per se if IG don't recall actually Now, you got to factor in, G2 were already down. They were already losing the game at that point. That's more like a last-minute desperation play. It reminds me of the Cloud9 game against Samsung Blue back in 2014 quarterfinals for the world for the 2014 World Championship. Is that, you know, you go for this one last-minute desperation play where you can pick somebody off and hopefully end the game based off a numbers count. But, you know, some people say that, you know, they should have just took the inhibitor and left. I still don't think you win the game at that point because you're still far behind. All they have to do is realistically stall the game, let the inhibitor respawn, and then just fight the same way, because at that point, IG's comp came online. So at that point, IG beat G2 and moved to 8-0. They're going to be the next team beside SKT of 2015 to go undefeated in the MSI group stage. And now you have Flash Wolves going up against SKT, the Korean killers that got dismantled. Oh god, Klid is a monster for SKT. He gets all of their early game action going, as SKT have been touted to be more of a passive team going into, you know, actually from watching their gameplay. Then you look at the fact that, you know, Klid picking the Vi pick is not only showing flexibility, but showing a smart way to play the jungle despite the way to actually play the game. Now, I know a lot of people have been criticizing SKT, but you know, for their drafting mistakes. They probably genuinely believe the way they're actually playing the game is the correct way. So, you know, it could be drafting mistakes, or it's just what the players want. You know, you really can't blame the coach too much because he's just giving the players what he feels like are the best suited things for them. But they did play a little bit more early game oriented carries. You know, you have the Lucian in the bot lane, and obviously you have Faker on the Aurelia pick completely popping off. They just dismantle SKT, and it isn't. They just sorry, the SKT dismantle Flash Wolves. It's not even close. Now, if you had said that, you know, if they had Maple, Karsa, and Sword Art from back in the day, maybe they look more competitive by this point against SKT, given their really passive playstyle. But SKT unbelievably dismantle Flash Wolves. And then you look at IG versus Team Liquid. There is a point in the game where it is kind of even, but Team Liquid, they just don't force anything, and you know IG's gonna force it. You know they're gonna force your hand, force you to make that mistake. So IG forced that mistake in the mid lane. The Shy comes out with a huge cannon flank. Impact plays really well this game, and he's been going on as the most underrated member of TL, and he's looking out as the standout carry, which is like mind blowing that Impact can play carries. Holy crap! I was so wrong about that, but. Obviously, that's going to be a good thing for him going into this upcoming split in North America. But right now, Invictus Gaming take away their another win, 8-0 for Invictus Gaming. Rookie's like, hey, Shy. He's like, what's up? You want to go 2-0? I got you. And if you're a Team Liquid fan, you know you're not actually winning this game. It is kind of nice that it looked even and that some of the teamwork is kind of coming together, but in draft, none of them are flexible enough to really give them draft flexibility, because every single team that I've seen draft against Team Liquid, they only focus Core JJ and bans because that's really the only player you can focus. Back in the day, when Jensen was on Cloud9, they used to throw multiple bans at him. This is not Cloud9, and it's just not focusing out around him, and it's not that Jensen is a bad player. We know he can handle this international competition. It's just not there with this style of team as where he can be more flexible like he was on Cloud9. IG wrap it up there, and Team Liquid going into this day, it's really sad that if they do make top 4, it would be off of one of the most disappointing runs for an NA team, because realistically, they don't even themselves belong in the knockout stage. If we're really being honest with ourselves, do they really belong in the knockout stage? Because they are pretty much going to get there by default because the other two teams are just that much worse, and they lost to one of them. Like I said, this has been one of the most disappointing MSIs that I have ever seen, but like I said, it's just my opinion. And you have SKT versus Fangwu Buffalo. You know, they actually did play early game in this one. It's one of the few games where they actually did play early game against Fangwu Buffalo and against any team. SKT have generally for this tournament been fairly slow, and SKT come away with the win. They're obviously just dismantling everybody. Oh, and did Faker play Aurelia in this game, or he played Aurelia in the other one? Oh, my bad. He played Aurelia in this game, in the SKT game against Flash Wolves, he played Azir. So overall, SKT having finally breaking that curse, getting their 2-0. Sorry, I mixed up the faker picks, but it really doesn't matter. They just finally get their 2-0 day. Now that's the day 4 recap. Let's go into the day 5 predictions. So SKT versus TL. The last time this played around, I feel like that game against SKT, in which TL first played that game, it was like a little bit of a mental comeback for SKT. If TL want any chances of no tiebreakers, they're going to have to win this day 2-0. Now, I'm going to pick SKT, obviously, but TL themselves need to get this 2-0 because you don't want to have tiebreakers against any team. You don't want to have a tiebreaker against Flash Wolves. If it does come down to that notion. Now, Flash Wolves are going up against IG later on. I'll talk about that. And they also have to face Funku Buffalo. So they get a pretty relatively medium schedule, all things considered. And then you get the later on the NA versus EU matchup. Everybody wants to see for the memes and the constant toxic fan backlash. I don't know. So I'm going to say SKT beat Team Liquid, but Team Liquid really have to get that next win against G2. And I feel like they could upset G2. I'm just not seeing it. That's the thing, though, is that this is a really hard day for them, and they're going to have to show something that they haven't shown before, and we're going to have to see something good out of them. Yes, I'm going to predict the other teams, but if they come out swinging, good for them. But, you know, they really don't deserve the top 4, and that's just... You can't watch these games and go, Team Liquid deserve top 4. No, they don't. It should be literally 3 teams that get into this specific top 4 for this event. But by default, you have to have 4 teams because of playoffs and stuff like that. So I understand. But yeah, SKT, I'm predicting to beat Team Liquid. G2 versus Funku Buffalo. You know that Funku Buffalo did beat them before. So, I mean, I'm going to say G2 win. But Funku Buffalo did beat them before. So anything's possible, you know. All right, IG versus Flash Wolves. This is just another clap, I'd imagine. I just don't see it right now. IG is going 10-0. They're not losing any games. Then you have the big NA versus EU round 2 for 2019. It was pretty decently competitive the first time around. It just depends on Team Liquid just need to stabilize the early game against G2, and then hopefully they can pray to this league god that, you know, they can win a team fight and close out a game. When they get leads, they don't really know what to do with them against specific teams. I'm going to say G2 win this, obviously, but if Team Liquid win this, I wouldn't be surprised, actually. Flash Wolves versus Funku Buffalo, I don't know. It really doesn't matter, but if you're Flash Wolves and you want to get out of the group stage, you want to win against Funku Buffalo, and I'm pretty sure Flash Wolves can beat Funku Buffalo. And you have the last match, SKT versus IG. What a way to close out MSI 2019 after IG dismantled SKT and thoroughly clapped them in that 16-minute win. I feel like SKT won't try that Sona Tark strategy like they did before, but I don't think even without trying that and with how much of a threat Clid is, I don't feel like they're going to be able to beat IG anyway. So... and looking at how SKT have been throughout this tournament, Khan has not did what anybody has said at all. Oh, Khan's gonna come up here and just dismantle everybody. Yeah, what games have you been watching? Because I haven't seen that. And Faker, someone's like he could be a secret wild card. You know, yeah, that's true, but we still haven't seen it. Or who knows? Maybe they have some really big, nice strats and best of 5s that we haven't seen. Because this is how, you know, SKT, like I said before, People are going to overrate them coming into this tournament. It is what it is, you know. But this is the same thing that happened in the 2016 MSI, which they didn't look so hot in the group stage and then took it over in best of 5s, depending on they had to face pretty much the best team at that event back in 2016, which was RNG. And he actually beat Mata, which is really, really interesting. So... All right, SKT versus IG. I'm going to say IG, but the standout games I'm looking at today are the North American games. You know, I am from North America, so I would like to see TL get to the knockout stage. That's not by default because the other 2 teams are just that much worse than them. I would not like to see that. I hope Team Liquid can go 2-0, and I hope that, you know, there can be some surprise upsets in group stage because we know group stage can be very, very surprising based off all the given best of 1s and the upset potential it currently lacks or upholds to your standards. Just kidding. But let's see what this last day of group stage can hold. I really hope it can be something good for everybody in general watching, because you don't want to see one-sided stomps, because theoretically most people predict the one-sided stomp against specific matchups, but realistically as a viewer, seeing a one-sided stomp is not fun. And you know, G2 and IG have the most exciting games so far the tournament. SKT, some of their players are looking kind of overrated, but that's just how it's looking right now. For best of ones, who was making top 4, we're gonna see today, actually later on tonight, potentially. Like, comment, subscribe, most of all enjoy. I'm the Nightwing, signing out. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Have a great day.